Alright, how's it going, guys? So, I just got back from the midnight showing of Deliver Us from Evil. This is the new movie from Scott Derrickson, who directed The Exorcism of Emily Rose, the not so great remake of The Day the Earth Stood Still, and a couple years ago, Sinister, which was fantastic. Um, I really wanted to see Deliver Us from Evil. I thought it was a really cool concept. The previews kind of made it out to look like it was kind of like SWAT meets The Exorcist, and the previews looked really scary. And so I went into this hoping for a really good scare, and I got something altogether kind of different. That's not a bad thing. Let me throw that out there. Deliver Us from Evil is from producer Jerry Bruckheimer, who, if you guys know, does like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, stuff like Prince of Persia, a lot of like Gore Verbinski stuff. I don't know if he did The Lone Ranger. He might have. I'm not sure. Gore Verbinski directed that, but this you could definitely tell this is a Jerry Bruckheimer movie. He has a way of making things kind of adventurous, and yeah. So Deliver Us from Evil is it follows two characters in the beginning. Let me get out my notes. I can't remember their names, which says one thing. But so it follows Sarchi, played by Eric Bana, and Butler, played by like Community's Joel McHale, which was one of the most surprising pieces of casting I think I've ever seen. And it took me a minute, but then, dude, that guy's a good actor. My God, that guy is a good actor. So it follows these two guys. They are kind of like just badass. Kind of, I was comparing them to like Dude Bro. They're like Dude Bro cops. Like, yeah, dude, check my muscles. Like, oh, let's go beat up some bad guys. Like kind of just like super macho, kind of like special agents. Yeah, and we just kind of follow around them for a little while as they're I guess like going around the South Bronx, doing regular police stuff, and it's really dark and kind of gritty, and they start to notice that there's just this like weird dark presence going on, and people are acting crazy, and then they get a call from like this family who says their house has a weird feeling to it. Um, Basically, it all starts off when they go to the South Bronx Zoo, and a woman has thrown her baby into the lion's den and then ran off, and all the power went out, so all the guests are gone, and they're searching for this lady, and they find her, and she has symptoms of possible possession. I don't want to get too much into that for spoilers, but then we meet Edgar Ramirez, who is a fantastic up and coming actor. He's in Zero Dark 30, and I think he was in Wrath of the Titans too, but don't. He's really, really good, and he plays Mendoza. I have to look at my notes, I'm sorry. He plays Mendoza, who's this kind of like priest, but he's not a clean priest, you know. He's a real person, and he feels like a real person, and it doesn't feel forced, and they're really good. All the actors are really good in this, except for one, which I'll get into later. But he brings up to Eric Bana that this might be a form of possession, and it's about Eric Bana coming to terms with that this might be possession. What I really liked about this movie is that Eric Bana isn't just the bullheaded like, no, it's not, that's not real. Like it takes him a minute, and and that is very realistic to me, where he's like, no, this is possession. Like, are you kidding me? But he starts to see things, and he doesn't discredit it. He really does. He starts to listen to Mendoza, and they get kind of close. And this movie isn't a. It was marketed as a horror movie. It's really not a horror movie. It's kind of like it definitely it feels like an adventure horror movie. The way I describe this is it's kind of like two dude bro cops. In the movie Seven, you replace Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt with these two like kind of buff dude bro cops, and then put them into The Exorcist. That's kind of the way I would describe it. It's not super scary. It's very eerie and very atmospheric, and it's very, very well done. It's not scary, but I never got the assumption that it was really trying to be scary. There are some familiar possession tropes towards the end, but I mean, what else are you gonna do with that? I liked a lot of this movie. My biggest problem story wise, before I start getting into things technically, is Olivia Munn, who plays Eric Bana's wife, and she is literally the paint by numbers. Like, seriously, like, I could paint this entire thing in by numbers using my crayon drawing set. She's the paint by numbers police wife. And I see this complaint on so many reviews for so many different things. She is literally the most generic. So generic, and the parts that you've seen in the trailer, like with the owl, like the hoo-hoo, like the ahoo, or whatever. If you see the trailer, you know what I mean. It just didn't feel necessary. She really bogged the movie down for me. I didn't like that at all. Her performance was just. I don't care. I don't care about police wives anymore. Give me a strong female character. You know, I don't care about these, like, helpless, like, I want my husband back. And I know it does happen in real life. It does. But I see it's too much of a trope. It's too much of a cliche at this point. It's like they need to do something new, and then maybe they can come back to that someday down the line. But yeah, technically this movie was really good. The soundtrack was incredibly eerie. You could tell this is done by the guy who did Sinister. There's a lot of things, from a lot of the kind of like grating noises in the soundtrack to just like a lot of the way some of the things are filmed. They look like flashback sequences look like the recorded videos from Sinister, and that's a good thing. I really liked Sinister. I thought it was really good. Yeah, I enjoyed this. I wasn't really scared. The lighting, technically, again, the lighting is really good. It was very dark. It was very dark. This movie definitely reminded me of Seven a lot, because like it never stops raining. The entire movie, every single day, it's just rain, 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 and that's a lot like Seven. But it sets a tone and an atmosphere, and I thought it was fantastic. Yeah, I mean, there are some definite possession movie tropes here. This isn't reinventing the wheel. It's sticking within the confines, but doing it very well. If you go into this knowing that you're not just going to be scared, completely scared, you'll really like it. And I mean, that's not to say there aren't scary moments that are super tense and atmospheric. It's just not like a mile a minute, just like scare, 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 scare. It's more interested in laying the foundation for like the characters, which I really appreciated. All the actors do great in their respected roles. Eric Bana is really good. Joel McHale. Quickly, if you watch Community, Joel McHale is funny. I don't know what they did. He is jacked. He is fucking huge in this, and he is completely unlike any character I've ever seen. He's like the go-to macho. Like, there's a scene where he's like fighting a guy with knives, and it's like fist fighting, and it's really cool to see an actor jump into something completely different than what he usually does. And he's still, I mean, he is still funny though. He's kind of the comic relief, but not in a bad way. It was never forced. I really liked his character. Him and Eric Bana's like rapport is fantastic. Deliver Us from Evil is a really good adventure horror movie. It's not the best. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. There's a lot of good ideas going on. There's a lot of really cool craftsmanship, and I really enjoyed it. I was never bored. I was never super scared. But I definitely think it's worth a time at the movies. And if you don't want to go see Earth to Echo or Melissa McCarthy in another fat woman movie, I'm sorry if that's insensitive. It's just like that's what those movies make fun of. It's just like, look at me, I'm a fat woman. That's funny. I don't think it's funny. I think it's kind of insulting to her and to, I don't know. I just don't get me started on that. But Deliver Us from Evil, I'm giving a 7.5 out of 10. Definitely go see this in theaters, definitely. And I mean, if you don't, it's definitely worth like a pickup on Blu-ray or even a rent. You know, it's really good. It's not the most original thing ever, but I really liked it. So thanks for watching, guys. Follow me on Twitter down below. And I'm gonna have a new video coming up shortly, explaining some cool stuff. So I'll see you guys later.